Good evening and welcome back to the Shadows of Drakkenheim. This is the Dungeon Dudes weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live stream campaign. My name is Monty Martin, running the campaign as Dungeon Master.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, playing Wilhelm Wolfsbane, the human swashbuckler. And we're joined today by our very good friends.
Jill Denitis playing Rudy Whitaker, the shifter Eldritch Knight.
And Joel Gorman playing Wrath, the Aasimar Warlock.
Thank you for joining us once again. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, Kelly and I post new videos every Thursday and every other Tuesday on our YouTube channel where we cover everything Dungeons & Dragons, including advice for players and guides for Dungeon Masters. You can check us out at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
And you can also join us on Tuesday nights when we record the campaign live on Twitch. Check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also watch the video episodes of the show on YouTube. We are also pleased to announce that Dungeons of Drakkenheim is now available as an audio-only podcast. So you can check that out at Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify.
With that, let us return to the shadows.
Drakkenheim is no more. For 15 years, we foolishly believed the madness and mayhem of that crumbling city was confined to the ruins. We were wrong. Insidious horrors have crept out of the shadow of Drakkenheim into a world unprepared for such nightmares. Tales of strange magic, swirling haze, and unspeakable terrors echo through the villages and towns surrounding that accursed place. Now, the Dusk Wardens, a new band of heroes, are tasked with driving out the seeping tendrils of the spreading darkness before it takes root.
Welcome back to the Shadows of Drakkenheim. When last we left our heroes, they had fought their way deep into the caverns below an ancient elven ruin deep in the southern wetlands of Westamar. There, following the trail of a group of villagers of the town of Shaftburg, held in thrall to some nefarious force, our heroes have come now to a great underground lake. The waters shimmer with luminescent, opalescent color, illuminating the cavern above with all manner of strange arcane colors. The pool below them simmers with a light mist, and the air is thick and humid. There are plants in the water underneath that conceal the bottom of the water itself. It's not quite certain how deep these waters are. The smell of stagnant water and rotting, waterlogged vegetation hangs in the air, and here and there small ripples in the water appear, indicating just fractious motes of movement, hopefully just fish and minnows. From the chamber, several waterfalls fill the lake underground, coming from other various underground passages and from the earlier river in the prior chamber. And the room itself drains out to a river down the south that you have followed along. There are several caverns and beachheads throughout the opposite ends of the cavern, at least two on the far side, one of which where it's parked a pair of large boats. Opposite is another landing spot where you came from. We've now drawn out one of these large canoe-like boats, and though there are no oars for it, you're using salvaged planks to pry it out and down a course towards the river where the lake drains out from. As our heroes crossed through the underground lake, suddenly a voice assaulted their senses. shadowy, silky, watery voice demanding to Rudy and Wrath that they demanding to Rudy and Wilhelm that they slay Wrath's pet, Bruce the cat, and even to Wrath that he abandoned his strange and otherworldly patron and take up with this strange voice instead. As our heroes decided to paddle a bit faster, perhaps back to shore, they caught the sight of something stirring in the waters. At first, a long, wet, deep red tentacle slithered up from the waters, at the tip of the tentacle opening up like a flower, a maw with an eye within, then another, until these eye-tipped tentacles pulled themselves up out of the water, not like a beast emerging from the waves, but more like a jellyfish propelling itself from one jet stream to the next, as a hulking body attached to the tentacles lifts itself, dripping out of the water. Its flesh is a mottled red with streaks of purple welts all through it. Centrally on it is a large white eye. There is no mouth to speak of. From the top of this central lump of flesh simply come more tentacles above and more below, pushing the creature where it buoys, floating in the air like a sickening jellyfish floating underwater itself. As the various eyes on the edges of the tentacles in the central body regard you in the horrific totality of the creature before you, what do you do?
By the way, my heart's beating really fast right now.
I think it's time for us to leave. I'm gonna. I don't know, guys. I say that and I start paddling.
Are we making it to shore? Or are we going the route we said we were gonna go?
We need to keep going. Just get out of here.
Very well. Roll for initiative.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
It doesn't like. It told me it doesn't like Bruce, right?
Yes.
If we kill Bruce, will it go away?
Don't you give in. Don't you give in to some random squid's demands.
Listen, Wrath, you can just reconjure him. It's fine.
Well,
you explain to your boss.
19.
19. Rudy?
Yeah.
5.
Wrath?
20.
Ooh, okay. Okay. All right, there we go. Wrath, the initiative is yours. What do you do?
As it speaks into my mind, I'm torn between these two worlds. My loyalty to my patron, my everything. He has given me great power. It has given me great power. That is Bruce. But the danger that this creature represents as it pierces my thoughts. I give in to its demands, and as an action, I'm going to temporarily dismiss my familiar into a pocket dimension.
Bruce vanishes, and you hear a suckling, chuckling noise resonating in your mind. Do you want to do or say anything else?
And I continue frantically paddling, and in my mind, I say to the creature, "Leave us be. I have rid this world of the cat."
Give me a deception check.
20.
The beast replies in your mind with a slithery, blubbery voice. Good, good. Now submit to me.
I stand up in the boat and I go, "It's fine, everyone." And I fall into the water.
What are you doing?
Okay.
And arms out, I just fall into the water.
Okay. Wilhelm, it is your turn.
At the moment that he hits the water, I spring to my feet and I pull out my crossbow, and I'm just going to fire at this thing. I see him fall into the water and I yell out, "No!" And I stand up and just kind of go on the trigger of my crossbow to try to defeat this beast and save Wrath.
Should have been more clear.
I got a 13 against it.
The shot sails towards it, and with unerring dexterity, as if it had a premonition of the bolt coming, one of the tentacles slaps the bolt away.
In frustration, Wilhelm lets out a little and tries to line up another shot. 23 to hit.
That is a hit.
Oh.
Doing 9 damage.
The bolt lands in the creature's side with a sickening thwack. And a oily ichor seeps out in place of blood.
And I yell, "Wrath, get back in the boat!"
Leave me!
No!
And now I get to say my favorite words. Would each of you please roll me a d6?
No!
What?
No! A 4.
5.
4.
Okay, the two of you that rolled 4s, please roll again.
6.
6.
Okay. In that case, great. Okay, little bit strange, but I can roll with that. Okay. The creature's tentacles flitter and writhe, and 3 of the eyes open up, one pointed at each of you. Wilhelm, a ray of psychic force bombards towards you. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
Go, go, go.
That's going to be a 7.
You are stunned for 1 minute. As this blast of psychic force collides with you and rattles your brain. You may repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns to break out of the stun. Rudy, you feel as the eyeball regards you as if this force is pulling against your body. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
16.
It's trying to grab you as if you're moving through water and everything is slowed down, but you resist it.
Yes.
Finally, Wrath. Because you have submitted yourself to this creature, you have disadvantage on your saving throw.
Oh! But I'm his buddy!
Give me a strength saving throw.
Oh, my favorite. 15.
With the disadvantage.
Yeah, I got a 17 and a 16 with a -1.
Remarkable. The creature is trying to lift you up with its telekinetic grip. And it says to you one more time, submit, submit.
I can't. Not when my friends are in danger. You leave them alone and I will be yours.
You will all be mine, it cries out. Rudy, it is your turn.
Steering the boat, is there any way that I can dash with the boat?
Working completely on your own?
Yeah.
No.
No?
You would need at least one other person helping you to be able to get this boat going on at effectively a dash. You could drive it on your own for sure.
Can I drive it on my own? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna trust that Wrath knows what he's doing. Because I know he can move magically, so I'm just gonna be like, all right, Wrath, I assume you know we're gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna start driving. So how far can I drive the boat?
Give me a athletics check.
Ooh, okay. 21.
Well, I'm gonna say you're gonna be able to drive. You're gonna be able to make this thing really haul ass and take it 30 feet.
Okay, I want to go towards the rapids.
Okay, so you're gonna go straight forward with it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Can I? Is this? Oh, I guess I can't. I can move.
I'll move myself.
Like,
You can move the
around there?
boat.
Yep.
I think
There
I
we
can move
go.
myself.
So I'm
Okay.
stunned on the boat, just like, ah!
Yeah.
But that's not my
Wait, yeah.
action, right?
Driving the boat is your action.
Is my
yes.
okay? I'll take it. Yep.
Yeah.
And I yell and say, Wrath, when you got time, just come back to the boat, please. We're getting out of here.
Okay. Beneath the waves, several creatures slither and swim.
I like the sounds of that. Oh no.
They
Uh-oh.
swim up towards you, Wrath.
Oh! I am fine. Everything is fine.
Oh, where's Houdini gonna go? Is Houdini gonna stay there?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, he's gonna help Wrath.
Okay.
Flying above the water, not really sure. He's just watching him.
Just
Okay,
me
how
flailing.
high above the water?
I'm gonna say 15 feet.
Okay, that's important. That's highly relevant. These small writhing masses of tentacles, like the larval forms of the larger creature, swim out of the water towards you, Wrath. And several of them, they rush around you. And I get a 19 to hit, a 12 to hit, a
19 hits.
23 to hit,
23.
and a 21 to hit.
3 hits.
3 points of damage total.
Oh, piece of cake.
They're grabbing you and they start pulling you underwater.
Ah!
Houdini's freaking out.
I say in my mind, I'm submitting. I'm submitting.
Your turn.
Give me some strength checks.
3.
Yep.
Do I still have disadvantage?
No.
Okay. First one is a 7. Second one is a 6. And the third one is a 2.
Okay.
Hot dice are gone.
They pull you over here.
No!
And you are 15 feet below the water.
That's fine. Everything's fine.
It is your turn.
I say in my through my mind as I talk, just bubbles. If you let my friends live, I will show you what I've learned. The power of the cosmos flows through me. I have seen time and space bend. I have glimpsed what others cannot comprehend. Let them go,
The beast.
and I will show you what I know.
Give me a persuasion check.
She's not good at that. 9.
The beast responds, "You will show us what you know. You will show us what little you know of the cosmos. Your friends will not be harmed, but you will all submit."
Okay, now I want to attempt to thunderstep out of the water and back onto the boat.
Okay. I guess I have to make some Constitution saving throws for some little duders.
Con save 16.
They are blown to smithereens.
Only 14 damage. And I'm going to appear back on the boat.
Okay.
And I spurt out a bunch of water as I finish the casting of
You're
the spell.
covered in like algae and some
Seaweed.
seaweed and plants. Yeah.
He is not negotiable. We must leave or kill it.
I knew you'd come back. Didn't have to worry about you. And then I continued to battle.
What's wrong with him? I point to Wilhelm. What's he pointing at?
Wilhelm is just screaming in the boat. So what I imagine is when this thing riddled my mind, I'd just taken the shot, and then all of a sudden Wilhelm is sweating profusely and just standing there going, "Ah!" like staring at this thing. Like our eyes, its many eyes and my one eye are locked.
It's like you've got a concussion. You're bleeding from your ears and nose.
Yeah. I'm just like standing there. My eye is rolling back in my head as I'm just standing there, like starting to convulse. And then I guess I have to make a saving throw to break out of this, right?
Yeah.
Constitution. Come on.
That is, he's doing something. He's fine. He's been like this with my boys for years, bleeding out of his ears. This is okay.
Maybe
And
I'm
I
going to
look
use
at you
a
weirdly.
luck point.
Yay!
I get a 21.
You are no longer stunned.
Thank
There
you,
it
luck
is.
points.
Let us see how you all endure the next turn, though, because I need you all to roll me a d6.
Okay, come on.
The beast cries out, "There is no escape. You shall not escape. There is no escape. Your heart will explode."
I say in his mind, la 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 bunnies la 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 to try to confuse and infuriate him. I got a 2.
I got a 3.
I got a 2.
Okay, the two of you that rolled 2s, roll again.
3.
5.
Okay, so I got a 5. I got a 3.
3 and 3.
Okay, great. Who rolled the 2? Wait, okay. I get to pick this. So in this case, the same blast of power that soared towards Wilhelm crashes into you, Rudy. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Well, I rolled a 1 on the die, +6, so.
You are stunned for 1 minute. You can repeat the save at the start of your turns.
I make the same sound while I'm speaking.
Wrath.
You're in the middle of a row?
One of the eyes focuses on you intently as the words "your heart will explode" are said. And as you try to focus your words back at it, you feel a wave of fear wash through you. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Will not succumb. I get a 5.
You are frightened for 1 minute.
All screaming in the
I can
boat.
feel my heart beating faster, and I think he's doing it.
Yeah, he is.
And
He is. You feel like it's like a hand is grasping at your heart. In Wilhelm's case, a beam of bright octarine energy sails directly towards him. Wilhelm, make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, come on. 5.
How lucky are you, though?
Lucky boy.
Do I?
I mean,
Okay, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it.
How lucky are you? How lucky are you?
Okay. 21.
Okay, you do not take 37 psychic damage.
Good.
Good.
Good use of a luck point. You're right. So as the beam goes at me, I see it coming and I go, and then I go to back up and I slip on the deck of the boat and it misses me because I slipped.
Hey, Rudy, you enjoy being stunned?
No.
Okay, well, you can try not being stunned.
What do I have to roll?
Constitution saving throw.
14.
You are no longer stunned.
Ah! All right.
Nice.
And I'm gonna get Houdini to go around the long way. Actually, I mean, technically he doesn't take opportunity attacks. So he's just gonna fly over to us and perch on the side of the boat. And I guess that's my turn.
All right. Wrath, you're frightened. You cannot willingly move closer to the site of your fear, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks while you can see the source of your fear. But you
the good news is that I am going to, in proper form, paddle ferociously away from the creature as frantically as I can. Yelling and screaming, but in my mind to preserve my dignity. So anyone that can hear my thoughts, including it, can hear me screaming out for Bruce and my mother.
Okay, you're gonna keep paddling the boat. Give me an athletics check, please.
And I do that with disadvantage.
Yes.
Oh boy. When it's this bad, disadvantage doesn't actually count, so it doesn't even matter. Oh wow, I get a 15.
Interesting. Okay, you drive the boat forward a total of 20 feet. However, the boat collides with some rocks. There's some rocky ground ahead, and it seems like the boat might be stuck in place between these rocks here.
I ignore the rocks and keep trying to paddle for a moment. I kind of push against it in a frantic, fear-driven paddle.
Okay. Would you like to do anything with your bonus action or action, or beyond that?
Do I technically still have Hex active? Has it been less than 8 hours?
No, it hasn't been. So Hex is still active, yes.
And I don't believe I've cast any concentration spells. So I'm going to I can't believe I forgot about this. I'm going to Hex the giant creature, and I'm going to make...
Just though right now, because you did take some damage before, make one last concentration check.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah. I should make should I make 3?
Yeah.
Because of the... So I got a... Well, I think I failed. I got a 7. I have to make a minimum 10, right?
Yeah.
So it's gone. It's gone. I'm happy with what I've done. I'm scared.
Okay. Wilhelm, it is your turn.
All right. Wilhelm, seeing the boat is stuck, stands up and turns to the other two and goes, "Ooh, we could swim. We could swim." And I'm going to turn and I'm going to fire 2 more shots at this thing. And then we'll see what I do next. So my first shot, 24 for
that is a hit.
8 damage.
Okay.
And the next shot is a 9.
It goes completely wide.
I then turn, and the water is flowing. The water's flowing in, out of
Yes, it's draining out through here.
I jump off the boat into the water here and start swimming with the current.
Okay.
And I'm like, come on, guys, come on.
How deep is the water?
A little hard to tell, actually. Along here, there are some rocks jutting forth. It might be not as deep in the river here as the lake itself is. We go to the creature. It flutters forward, and you can each roll a d6.
All right, I'm going to use the other one. 6.
1.
5 again.
6, 5, and 1. Okay. Wilhelm.
Mm-hmm.
A almost invisible ray sails towards you. Give me a charisma saving throw.
All right. 20.
Okay. You feel this pang of horror and aversion wash over you, but you resist it. Wrath, you rolled a 5, correct?
Yeah.
The blast of force that struck Rudy sails towards you. Make a Constitution saving throw.
20.
You are not stunned.
Oh, God.
Rudy, make a Strength saving throw.
Oh, okay. Whew. Come on. 15.
15. You feel the creature's telekinetic grip grasp around you, and it tries to lift you up off of the boat, but you resist it. You stand your ground. Rudy, it is your turn.
All right. I say, Wilhelm, we should have just tried to unstuck the boat first. And I'm going to use my strength to grab the rocks and try to push the boat forward.
Okay.
Can I use Houdini to help me?
I don't think Houdini can help you with this.
Okay, I figured I'd ask. Athletics?
Yes, please.
22.
You haul the boat through the rocks, but as you do so, the boat itself takes 10 points of damage from the rocks themselves in the process. It's over and through, and it's now caught up in the current, and it's gonna actually collide with Wilhelm.
Nope.
So
We're picking
Wilhelm,
you up,
give me a
Wilhelm.
dexterity saving throw.
Can
Wilhelm
Houdini help him?
massively. Can Houdini help me?
Did he grab his hood and try to pull him out of the way?
No, Houdini can't help you with this.
Houdini, you're useless.
I get a 16.
You managed to swim out of the way, Wilhelm.
I turn and see the boat barreling towards me, and I just duck under the water and grab the side of it as it comes by.
Okay, the boat is caught in the current. You can see ahead a twist and a bit of a fork in the path ahead.
No.
Let's see how far this will take you. Yeah, there's a small ridge over here. Okay. Going back to... So that's Rudy. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Rudy?
Use my action. Nah.
Okay. Wrath, it's your turn.
I'm still frightened.
Actually, we didn't roll that saving throw at the end of your turn, so roll that again.
Oh, God. Wisdom, right?
Yeah.
15.
You are no longer frightened.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to grab Wilhelm and pull him up into the boat.
Okay.
As we
Yep. I'm gonna say that the two of you
collide
working
with him.
together can pull Wilhelm onto the boat. That's your action. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I am. I'm gonna hang on.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Hang on. Keep trying to help steer the boat.
Wilhelm, it is your turn.
I'm going to start frantically paddling as well. Now that they've pulled me onto the boat, I look like a little drowned rat, and I pull my hood off because it's all soaked and everything, and I'm grab one of the makeshift oars, and I look behind us, and I'm just, what are we even dealing with right now? And I'm paddling as hard as I can.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Oh, I rolled a 20, which makes it a 19.
Okay. The boat goes forward, and you can, with some difficulty, you can drive it through this sort of bend here. And forward, I'll just make sure that I can place it where I want it to go. So we'll say that you kind of navigate it through that little bit there, and that's where you all are. Yeah, the little bit of rapids. Zini will come forward as well.
He's just hanging on the edge of the boat doing nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you call him useless? I'm pretty sure you yelled useless.
He's a passenger in this.
The voice cries out in your minds. You will find no safety that way. You only slither down the throat and deeper into the belly of the beast. Rudy, it's your turn.
I'm going to keep helping them paddle.
Not creepy.
24.
Okay.
Athletics.
The boat continues forward. As you pass by, you can see right over here. Let's go down. There is another cliff ledge here with what looks like to be a rope spooled at the very top of it. The ledge reaches maybe up about 15 feet above the water level. There's a bit of rope spooled up at the top, and it leads into what looks like a dry, dark, small passage. Beyond that, the river continues surging forward some distance.
Shall we stop and take the rope?
You're driving wherever you think we're going.
What do you see, Rudy?
I see a rope. I think that might be another way around.
I mean, if it means getting out of the water, I'm pretty okay with it at this point.
All right. Can I shove us off the side towards the cliff of the rope?
Yep, you can.
Okay, so I do so. And it's 15 feet above?
Yes.
All right, Houdini, go grab the rope. Do something.
Okay.
Is it tied to anything?
No, it's not.
Or like it's just a loose rope?
It's a spooled rope, neatly spooled.
Yeah, I guess for now we're just going close to it because that's what I use my action for.
Okay, so you drive the boat up. Kind of, we'll say you can kind of find a way to park it and sort of
wedge it
a little bit up here. Whatever was down the other way has stopped pursuing you. It's out of the range of your dark vision as well.
All right, boys, I'll give you a little lift up if you can climb up there.
Put us out of initiative order for now.
So I kind of put my hands together and I say, ready to jump up?
Yep.
With a little urgency. Just
and
in case.
Oof, Wilhelm up.
Yeah, you do like the 1 foot like throw.
Yeah.
And I grab the top and pull myself up onto the ledge.
Okay.
Right, Wrath, you ready? Wilhelm, catch Wrath.
Where?
All right, I've got you.
Where are we going?
Up.
So together you throw Wrath, I catch Wrath, and we pull Wrath up.
As you head upwards, Wilhelm, you hear... Give me a perception check. Okay. You hear the strange whine-like whinnying. It's like a... And you hear scratching of small feet.
There's something up here.
Did you see anything?
I hear it.
I mean, it might just be rats.
Doesn't sound like rats.
There's a few... The room up here is not illuminated at all.
I can't see anything. I need somebody else up here.
Can I bring Bruce back?
Yep. Where would you like to bring Bruce?
Beside Wilhelm. And so I make him appear, and I want to have Bruce kind of make sure, just to see if there's any living things or animals or creatures in the room with Wilhelm.
Okay. As Bruce moves forward, Bruce can now see the room ahead. This small cavern is a complete dead end. There are several fungi and mushrooms growing in this dank, wet chamber. And in the chamber are 3 massive padlocked chests. In the center of the room, getting up, is standing on 4 bony, canine-like legs, is a tiny sack of brain-like flesh. Resembles the creature that burst out of the troll back in the swamp. And it stands up, and and as Bruce comes around the corner, it lets out this ear-piercing whinny, like a...
Run away.
What do you do?
Bruce slinks back towards Wilhelm and grabs his leg, like bites onto his pant leg and kind of pulls him back towards the boat.
Roll for initiative. Actually, you know what? We'll keep your values from before. Yeah. No, we're gonna roll it again. Yeah, I want to see how fast you react.
14.
All right. I got a 23.
Ooh, 12.
Rudy, what did you get?
14.
Okay.
Hot dice are medium dice today.
Wilhelm, what do you do?
Wilhelm recognizes... I can't see it, because I can't see what Bruce sees, but I recognize the sound.
Yeah.
And as soon as it clicks in what it is, Wilhelm turns and yells, "I hate this cave!" And I jump off the cliff and try to just land near the boat, not in the boat because it's a 15-foot drop, but near the boat in the water.
Make an acrobatics check.
I got a 23.
You land in the water almost, as you dive down, almost colliding with the spiked rocks at the bottom of the water.
It's worth it. And I'm like, I pop out from the water. I'm like, evil brains. There are evil brains.
Rudy, what do you do?
I grab Wilhelm out of the water and I bring him up on the boat. And I call Houdini back down and say, "Houdini, get over here."
Okay. Do you want to move the boat or do anything else? Or you pulled Wilhelm onto the boat?
Yeah.
I see. Wrath?
And when Wilhelm got up there, Rudy was getting ready to throw me up to Wilhelm.
Yeah.
We didn't quite get up there. I made Bruce appear, so now I clamber back into the boat as quickly as I can. I yell at Bruce. I go,
Yep.
and I kick off the boat and I try to steer it back down the path.
Okay.
Continue on our our little adventure.
Okay. The
As
creature
quickly and quietly as possible.
rushes towards the edge of the ledge. And fortunately, it doesn't have enough speed, and the range of its ability is only 10 feet. So as it rushes towards the edge, it stops at the edge like it's barreling like a wolf chasing a rabbit as it comes to the edge of the ledge, comes forward, and you see as it does so, this psychic energy bristles out of the mind, and almost like a hungry mouth of psychic power reaches and bites and snaps towards your minds, and you can feel the energy almost pulling at your intellects. But Wrath, you're just at the edge of the range of the ability.
I can feel it. Touching the very edge of my knowledge, and it scares me. What is it? So, do I know what it is? Does Wrath?
Wrath has never, in no literature or knowledge recorded in the libraries of the Amethyst Academy, has there been any record that Wrath has encountered of a creature like this.
Well, we're gonna just keep sailing. Just rowing.
Wilhelm, what do you do?
As this thing bounds right towards the ledge, I immediately turn and pull out my crossbow, and I'm going to fire 2 shots at it.
Okay.
$21 to
That's
hit.
a hit.
I really wish I could get sneak attack. It's not. No, we called Bruce back. Never mind. That's going to be 8 damage.
Okay.
I'm going to fire a second shot at it. 25. And that's going to be for 6 damage.
It screeches as purple blood splatters from its brain matter, and it stumbles staggered. It is bloodied. Rudy, what do you do?
You know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to firebolt it.
Ooh.
12.
That's a hit.
Oh. 11 damage.
You blow its brains out.
As I thought. Now, you didn't see any more of the little things up there, did you?
I only heard the one.
I'm gonna ask Bruce. Did he see any more? Because it was Bruce that saw it, and I mean I didn't even see through his eyes.
Bruce says, there was one there, but where there is one, there will be more. Its maker will make many more if it can.
So like there was just one of them.
We could try going back up there. There might be something of value. What are we doing in this cave? What are we doing here?
I think we were trying to find out where the fellas went after, because we
were sent to investigate a human issue with human problems. What are we doing here with this mind messery? That I am stressed out. I am having a bad day. There's water in my boots. There are things in my mind. I have not seen the likes of this in my entire life. I am not okay. My rules do not prepare me for brains on feet and monsters in ponds. What are we doing here?
Listen, Wilhelm, this is just the nature of the beast, and sometimes there are unknown things that come on adventures, and you're just experiencing the craziness that you might find when you go out into the world, and that's okay.
Have either of you two seen anything like this in the world?
No.
Then what are we dealing with?
Wilhelm, I don't know what we're up against, but that's why it was us that was chosen, that was tasked with this. The Academy has recognized our ability to, how you say, deal with ambiguity. And when it comes to brains that have legs, villagers who are possessed, and, deep cults, I think we're the most prepared
I
to overcome this obstacle.
I apologize. I'm sorry. Rule number 67, when panic spreads, the calm are the victors. I apologize. I lost my cool. This is not something that I was prepared for, and I apologize.
When they send it out that weird mental energy like that last one was, it can rile you up in your brain a little bit, in your melon. Don't take it too personally. Just let's get realigned.
I was very scared. I was the first time I felt fear in a long time.
It's good to know that I'm not alone. You two seem so calm, and I pride myself in being calm, but this is a lot to deal with. Why didn't River prepare us for such dastardly plots and evil beings? I feel like this is something beyond nature.
She might not even know this was happening. And this is the kind of things we got to survive, we got to beat, we got to tell the Academy about, so that way they can get us more prepared for crazy situations like this. But unless we go further, we're not going to find out exactly what's happening. We can't save these town folk from getting repossessed by their possessed family.
It's true. We need to stop this. It is the right thing to do. We need to stop whatever this is, because this craziness could corrupt far beyond just Shathburg.
Bruce is clawing at Wrath's leg. Wrath, Bruce looks at you with the unmistakable gaze of a cat that says, I am hungry, and I want to eat that.
I must acquire the body for research purposes and also to feed my cat. Would any of you wish to come with me?
I will come.
I'll hold the boat.
I unleash Bruce and his what's the word? Unquenchable hunger. Yes. Please, Bruce, save me a piece for the Academy. I have already started a collection. It is also your treat bag.
Bruce looks at you. You're not going to put it in a bowl for me?
1,000 apologies. And I scoop up the bits of brain that are slightly cooked, because that's actually quite kind of Rudy. And I place them in his travel feeding dish. I pull out this little travel feeding dish. It says Bruce on it, and it's got like a little picture of a cat. And
you have a dinner bell for him and everything.
And I put it. No, that would attract attention, Rudy. And I put down the dish and let him.
He looks back. He looks back up at you and says, "Where is the garlic?"
Are we going to check?
And
out
you see me just start to reach into my and I pull out some garlic. I don't have much left, but I crush up a clove in a mortar and pestle, and I add it. It's a whole like thing. It takes a good 3 minutes to prepare his brain food. It's good for the mind.
Are we now up on the ledge?
Yes.
Is that where we are?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of holding to the rocks, either if there's rocks shooting out with my hands, or I've got like one of my axes like dug into the wall, just kind of holding it.
Yeah. You watch as Wrath gathers up the gray matter and singed bits of brain and bone that this creature is made of, and puts them in a labeled dish, and the cat begins hungrily devouring it. And you know how some cats are really loud eaters? That's Bruce. Like, some cats want the whole house to know that they're eating. That's Bruce.
And I try to collect the bits that are like either they're not as appetizing / like, they're on the wall or like scraped on something. I grab those bits and I add them to the container.
The undercooked ones.
Yeah.
I wander forward as you're doing this, but I realize that I can't see, and I stumble into some rocks and get lost. And I'm like, I thought we were going.
Oh, I have an idea. I go to your eye patch, and I'm going to cast a light on your eye patch. Giving you a headlamp.
Thank you, Wrath. That's so kind. I can now see in the dark.
Yeah, just stop pointing that at me.
Oh, sorry.
It's very bright.
So while he's feeding Bruce, I'm going to wander into the room cautiously.
There are 2 large chests in this room and a 3rd large crate.
I approach. Is this the crate here?
Yeah.
That I'm the closest to? I approach it, and not trusting anything right now, I poke it with my sword.
You have poked the chest successfully with your sword.
There's a crate. Should I open it?
Knock on it first and see if anything knocks back.
I rat-a-tat-tat on it with my sword.
It rat-a-tats-tats, and you can hear the sound of rat-a-tat-tatting upon the wooden frame.
I'm going to open it now, and I cautiously I get out my crowbar, and I try to pry it open.
Okay, it's with no small amount of work. Do you manage to pry it open and pull it apart into and pull off the lid of the chest? Inside this large chest are hundreds of coins, some small talents of silver. Most of the coins inside are copper and silver, with a few bits of gold. Some of them are put up in small bags, but many of them are scattered about quite loosely. These look like the collected savings of, well, half the village, perhaps.
And it is our duty to return this to the village. Wrath, Rudy, I found money, seemingly coins stolen from the village. I would like to say it's payday, but I don't think this belongs to us.
And I don't know if we have enough facilities to take it with us currently. Maybe we can come back for it.
Perhaps note that this is here. I'm going to open the other 2 chests, and I'll see if anything else of value strikes me. I'm going to approach the next chest. Is it locked?
It is as well, yes.
Can I use these tools to open it?
Yeah, it takes you no small amount of time to do so, but with your proficiency in these tools and with no pressure of time, you are more than capable of opening this up. And so you crack it open, and inside this chest, once again, is another trove of the personal effects of several common folk. But mixed within it is jewelry, rings, several with gemstones, necklaces, pendants, what look like several ewers or heirloom items. Anything of value that is gold or silver is all collected and piled up in this box, in this container.
We have more loot from the town, it looks like. This one is full of trinkets and baubles.
Mm.
And I'm going to open the final chest as well.
Okay. While you are in the midst of doing that, Rudy and Wrath, what do the two of you wish to be doing?
I'm keeping watch just around the boat, waiting for these guys to finish opening up the chests and just making sure that nothing's coming our way.
Okay.
Standing near the cliff edge, kind of taking in the fanatic devouring that Bruce is doing. And just kind of keeping one eye on Wilhelm as he opens the chest and another eye out towards Rudy. Just kind of standing.
Mm-hmm. Wilhelm, as you crack this last chest open, within it, this as well, are many other personal effects. But what you see in here are quite unmistakably, there are several rings and seals that Wilhelm, you've been around Westermar long enough to recognize these, but the rings and seals that are loosely in this container are the signet rings that someone who was a member of the docks guild or a merchant guild of one of the cities of Westermar would own. These are the personal effects of perhaps several merchants, and in this box with them are several gold bars, at trade bars, and locked within this are other trade goods that people would deal in. There's a few silks, spices, and salts. There are several bands of furs and other valuables, the common sort of things that typical merchants would buy and sell and trade in, but also piles of fine clothing as well, and sets of glasses and spectacles, even a bag of salt. Stuffed in the other effects as well in here are 6 potions of healing.
All right. So is it safe to assume that, so the other 2 chests seem to have come from town, but this chest seems to have been taken from merchants who I assume probably died and were robbed. With that assumption, I feel like I'm going to pick up the healing potions, the bag of salt, because I like to season my food, and 3 of the gold bars. Can I do that?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come back and I hand Wrath one of the gold bars, and I'm like, I doubt the merchants who were shipping this gold will be needing it if it's being found in here. Perhaps we can consider this danger pay for this job.
Thank you.
Rudy, and I toss one down to you as well. Also, and I'm going to give you guys each 2 healing potions.
Mm-hmm. All in all, there is probably about 12,000 copper pieces in amongst all these things, 4,000 silver, and probably about the equivalent of about 450 actual gold pieces. In amongst the other bits of the other silver and golden bars, there's about 87 bars of gold, and another 87 bars of silver and 6 bars of gold as well, the equivalent in value. So all in all, what's assembled here is probably worth in the ballpark at least of anywhere from 1,000 to maybe 3,000 gold.
With the attempt to not steal from the village, if we were to divvy up the bars, how much would you say we would be getting?
The gold trade bars are worth 50 gold pieces each, and each of the silver trade bars is worth 10 gold pieces each. So now each of the bars weigh 1 pound.
Yeah. You guys want to take a few?
Are the trade bars? Is there any inscription on them, like a marking, like a branding?
Yeah.
Several of them have been marked with the seal of the Dockmaster of Dransmond. Several of them are marked with the trade bars of Todsfeld and a few of Geldstadt. And these seem to match approximately where, like, when you look at the merchants' signet rings, many of them have the markings of, the individual coats of arms of merchant families. It's possible that if you took some of, all in all, there's about at least 9 different signet rings in here.
Can I grab those?
Different families. Off the cuff, none of you would recognize the seals of any of these prominently, but it's possible that by bringing them to a registrar, like many towns and cities, the larger ones will have heralds or registrars who would be able to identify these rings.
I'll grab the rings as well. And can I grab a couple gold bars for each of us?
As I said, there's 6 gold bars in total and 87 silver ones.
And you said the gold bars were Geldstadt, Todsfeld, and what?
Dransmond, which is consistent because the Geldstadt is a bit to the northeast and is the site of one of the largest gold mines in the region. So most gold bars are minted in Geldstadt, and Dransmond is the largest port city in Westermar, and so a lot of trade bars are often minted there as well.
If we take the gold bars, it's about 100 each.
Yeah, so we'll each get 100 gold.
Okay. I say we take those signet rings because I'd rather return them to their families if they at least know maybe they got people missing.
So we'll take the gold bars because I don't think they're going anywhere of value. But the rest of this treasure needs to return to its rightful owner in Schafberg. A lot of this gold is from Schafberg. As for the signet rings, yes, we should try to determine who or where they're from and see if maybe we can return them to the people that they belong to, or the families.
Said, how much copper, silver, and gold coins, just so I can keep track?
About 12,000 copper, and about 4,500 silver coins, and another 450 gold coins.
Perhaps if we manage to clear this place out, we can let the townsfolk know to send an expedition here to retrieve their gold. Of course, there is that beast in the water that we never actually dealt with. So
I might
have to go back for that.
There is a bigger issue. This cult, whoever's behind this monster seems to have penetrated far beyond the reaches of Schafberg. The trade bars, the signet rings, this is affecting the entire region.
Now, it is possible, though, that perhaps these were trade bars that were on caravans passing by on their way through Schafberg.
If you're traveling from the major cities of along the coast by land, if you're traveling, say, from Todsfeld or from Dransmond, and you're heading down to Leuchten, or even towards anyone that would be coming from via land, traveling from Dransmond towards from the coast, essentially to the border of Westermar, where Westermar borders Illyria and Caspia, there's a good chance they would pass through Schafberg. So Schafberg is along a major road, and so traders pass through it quite regularly. And you remember what was happening to people that were staying at the inn in Schaffberg.
I suspect that the people who these bars belong to are possibly the very people that we have murdered in this cave.
This is an accurate assumption.
Well, I mean, worst comes to worst, when we figure this out, the people of Schaffberg will get a little bit more money than they thought. I think they do their due diligence.
Are we going to be able to save these people? At this point, I mean, the people of Schaffberg, the ones who aren't changed, I'm sure we can save. But at this point, I don't know what to make of this anymore. I don't think there's much saving to be done here for the people that are in this cavern.
Well, maybe not for the people in this cavern, but think about all those people we sent back to their families. They're going to have to rebuild their new life. We're going to at least try to get this evil out of there so they can do something with their town and not have to totally abandon their lives.
I agree.
I think we got to believe that we can do it, or else putting that doubt is not going to help us on this quest, Wilhelm.
We are tasked by the Amethyst Academy to discover where this delirium is coming from. This is just a small piece of the puzzle. We have stumbled upon something bigger, but we need to focus. It's not just about saving a town or returning possessions. We need to discover the true blight that plagues these lands. That's our mission.
And remember, we found that sphere. We know delirium is here. We can do something about it and see potentially if it's involved in this.
And I have a feeling it is, based on the things we've seen, the brains coming out of people, them being in close contact with the delirium. Maybe it attracts them. Maybe it seems to warp them. Absolutely. Especially in its raw format.
We've seen something similar on the Herlick farm, remember?
My friends, I thank both of you for being here with me. I might have lost myself if I had been here by myself, and it's because of friends like you that your courage combined gives me courage as well. We will help the people of Schaffberg. We will find the blight at its core in these caverns, and we will see to it that we end this together.
So where will you go next?
Well, from here we have one way. We're traveling down this river to see where it takes us.
Okay. You push off from the boat as it sloshes and rides lazily through the river further into the darkness of the caverns ahead. And that's where we'll take our break. And we are back from our break. We have all had a short rest, finished all of our consumables, and have strapped on our shields and got our spell components. We're ready for more adventure. I don't actually think anyone uses a shield.
Not yet.
Not yet. If you're enjoying the stream and you want to help support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can find out how by following the links below or at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes. And we also have a phenomenal Discord community that is exclusive for our patrons, where you get to discuss any sort of role-playing game, the latest episode of our show, and really just any nerdy topics you want to talk to us about. If you do join our Patreon, you also get access to things like our monthly writer's room, where you can help contribute to future scripts for our show. And also, you get to submit questions for our monthly Q&A stream that we've started doing. So please join us on Patreon, join us in Discord, hang out, chat, and we will see you there.
Of course, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store, where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes t-shirts, including classics like Yes, Yes, Yes and Troll Killer, but new ones like Way Bigger Than Ducks or the Dusk Wardens. Check it out at bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
And in our game tonight, we used a variety of incredible assets produced by talented artists. They have graciously given us their permission to use these assets in all of our stream games. And what we want to do is give them some recognition. So you can use them at your table as well. And please go and check out these amazing creators and supporters of the show. We have Roll20 doing the virtual tabletop. We have Battle Maps by Alex Vandera of Neutral Party and Ross McConnell of 2 Minute Tabletop. We have custom maps created using Dungeon Fog and Wonder Draft. We have player character artwork by Jeremy Cole. We have NPC token artwork by Matthias Bourbon, monster token artwork from the D&D 5e Monster Manual and other source books, special effects tokens by Gabriel Picard, and as always, music by Tabletop Audio. So please, please, please give them some wonderful support.
Alrighty. And my line is next, right? With that, let us return to the shadows. So, you have pushed off from the little treasure nook that you discovered hidden away down behind the river. And so, making your way down this... The passage here is open, covered in water. The flow is not slow or lazy, but it's also not unmanageable for you to with the boat. There's bits of rock here and there that you have to navigate past, but the boat continues now for perhaps another 100 feet or so. It's not very long, but it twists through a series of passages until you can actually see ahead, around the curve, torchlight.
Appear to be approaching civilized areas again.
Can I slow us down at all? Kind of
Yes.
like brushing against the current, just
Yes.
to really give us a little bit of stealth in what I can do.
I suspect it would be wise to approach with caution.
Of course.
Judging by the rocks that we went over earlier, this doesn't seem like the path normally taken, correct? Like there was wasn't there a docking point in the other
Yes.
in the other place?
There was. What you can see as you come along this passageway is here and there you pass by points where pitons and several bits of rope have been strung up through this passageway. And there's just enough bits of rock, and actually here and there some bits of timber and boards that indicate that maybe somebody comes this way on foot of some kind or in some other manner, but that very rarely do people come up this way using a boat.
And sorry, the torchlight is on like a ledge, or
So the passageway twists, the underground river twists in kind of an S shape.
mm-hmm.
And as you're coming around the S, you can see that there is reflected light against the cavern wall as it twists around.
Should we pull the boat over and approach on foot, or should we continue with the boat?
I'm going to turn off Wilhelm's headlight as
Oh,
well.
thank you. Yes.
I
I was wondering why I could see so well.
We don't need that. How deep is the water here?
How deep is the water here?
Like if I take my mage hand and push it down.
Anywhere from 5 to 10 feet deep.
Hmm. I believe that the ropes may attract more attention than the boat. We should make our way as close as we can, being quiet.
Very well, Wrath.
Continue to slow us down in the boat as much as possible.
Okay. There's enough places that with the rope in the boat, you could tie the boat off to some of the jagged rocks here or stop it if you wanted to. Either course of action is possible if you wanted to get off the boat and proceed on foot.
Could we send I think we could tie off the boat and perhaps send a scout up to observe what's causing the light.
I'll send Houdini.
And Bruce has some calories to work off. So he's willing to fly.
I send Houdini over.
Okay.
And I go through his eyes.
Okay. Houdini flutters silently down the cave and around the corner, and the sound of talking voices hits your senses. They are familiar voices. It's Donovan and Hans and two of the others speaking in the cavern here. Donovan says, you hear Donovan speaking. The Dark Watcher says that they have come down this way. And what is the other one? And then another voice says, what does the Elder One say we should do? Wait for them? Kill them? What? And then another voice speaks out. It's gravelly, throaty. It lurches almost as if it's vomiting up the words. And it says, the Elder One wants them alive. It sees great potential in them.
Now, can we hear this from our placement, or is it only Houdini?
Houdini can hear this clearly. You guys can hear the echoes of this down the hall.
My friends, I still have that potion of invisibility. Can Houdini, I guess, see anything for Rudy to relay in terms of like where these people are standing?
Do you want him to advance far enough to see them?
Oh, I guess, yeah, that's up to you, Rudy.
Only if he can do so silently. Like if it's gonna be quite open where he goes, he's gonna try to go up as far as possible.
Hope for the best.
You know what? Let's do it.
If you're nervous, I can always turn invisible and move ahead.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna call Houdini back and just relay what I heard while I was.
Okay, so you're not gonna go forward?
No.
Okay.
Is there any other sounds present in the cave? We can hear the voices,
water and dripping, and the dripping stalactites.
Any other, like, how do I say it? Like, not like mostly creatures. Like, is there like fish? Is it active at all, or is it like super quiet and weird?
In terms of life in this area, there is very little other life. In the area that you are in right now, there was water and perhaps fish in the lake earlier up, and maybe there's a few creatures that have slithered down this way. What are you looking for specifically?
No, I just want to kind of get a read on the ambience. Like, for example, Wilhelm,
Yes.
If you are approaching, what we can use as a guise to mask your approach.
Well, I can turn invisible and then use the ropes and boards to move in that direction. And with the sound of rushing water and the cavernous sounds that are here, they won't be suspecting an invisible man moving across the boards. They probably won't hear much.
They have been prepared for this before.
It's true. There was the woman with the eyes. She saw through your disguise. There's
also the stairway with the bells. There could be other traps or alerts. They seem to be very cautious towards intruders, even the unseen.
Wrath, I'm a professional infiltrator.
Do what you do.
Say, give him a go.
We'll be close by. Do you have a warning sign? How do we know when to approach? Will you return? Will you...
If things go wrong and I'm spotted, I will yell, "Help! Help me!" And that will be the sign that I am in danger. Otherwise, I will try to observe and make my way back here to inform you.
Okay, so are you going to drink this potion of invisibility?
I drink the potion of invisibility.
I just want you to think about one thing.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're going to be invisible in the water, what is that going to look like?
Well, I thought you said there were boards and ropes that I could walk along.
Ah, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're right next to them, right? We've tied our boat off?
Yes. You'd have to progress about 60 feet and move the boards and ropes into position to safely traverse. So even invisibly, it might not. You still signs.
I thought the boards and ropes were like laid across.
No, they're stowed. They're stowed.
Oh, okay. Never mind. There goes my whole plan. I misunderstood.
Perhaps I didn't explain clearly. I apologize.
No, that's okay.
Through the water, if you maybe stay beneath the water, Rudy has developed a convincing infiltration plan through the use of reeds. This could provide you the breath required.
We took some of those reeds, I believe.
I believe so.
Rudy, do you still have them?
I mean, we cut some for when we were coming down the river, but...
I will need to go above the water, though, in order to listen and observe where they are.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I will hop into the water, I will stay next to the wall, and I will move, once again, only to a point where I am observing. I will stay in the shadows, and I will find out the lay of this area.
Maybe I will send Bruce. He will stay close by as well.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through Bruce's eyes.
And then, Wilhelm, are you going to drink the potion, or are you just going to hug the sides and sneak along in the water?
I think if I'm not engaging just yet, I'm going to just hug the sides and sneak along. I don't want to go obviously out into the light. I want to go to where the S bend curves towards something where the light's coming from, and I want to just be up to here in the water. Maybe here so I can breathe. Okay. And poke out.
All right. This is what I will show you here.
And as Bruce flies behind you, he gently is pawing at your head. He's just right behind you, and he's...
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here we are. Wilhelm. You proceed
looking over you, kind of keeping an eye out
down the water until you can get eyeballs on the source of the torch. There is a beachhead where the cavern ends and rustles up, but the river continues. At this point, you can see Donovan, Luds, and Hans, and the two other survivors of the other group. One of them is holding a torch. They are in a small, waterlogged and fungal-covered cavern. Somewhat in the distance here, you can see that this part of the passageway opens up at 2 points here, so it diverges off, one to the north and one to the south. But then, of course, the river continues further to the south as well. The light of Brida's torch casts a glow over several horrific forms. Speaking to Donovan are two man-shaped figures. The skin looks like it has been stripped or pried from the flesh. They are garbed in shredded pants or belted robes, their chests exposed. Perhaps one of them might have once been a woman, but you have no way of telling. Their form has become so monstrous, for their muscle tissue has ripped off their bodies in tendrils, which hover and waver in the air like feelers, sensing the air around them like some monstrous amoeba. Their flesh is purpled and scabbed over, and their eyes have atrophied and withered out. Even their nose is gone, giving them a skeletal look in their face. Their hair has all taken on this pallor as well, of these squirming tendrils across their heads, and they hold their arms at their sides, rubbing along the upper parts of their upper arms. But then these massive elongated tendrils, perhaps 10 feet in length, come up out of their shoulder blades and gently caress around Donovan and touch his face as the creatures speak in this throaty voice. And you hear them say, you hear them speaking as you come forward, but that is not all. For along the water's edge are 3 more disgusting monstrosities. It looks like someone has taken 2 children and slammed their forms together like they melted into each other. 4 childlike limbs grasp onto spears, one onto a crossbow, and 4 pairs of legs are horrifically melded into each other, forming a roughly bipedal form. And the cranked, canted heads of 2 melded together children rattle against each other from 4 mouths, whining and drooling. Perhaps one was not a child, maybe one was a dwarf or a halfling, maybe even one was a smaller person of some kind. Whatever has befallen them, they moan in soft pain and waddle and look regardingly towards the waters, expectant of an approach. They each of them, one of them with its 4 arms holds 2 crossbows, another holds several spears and javelins, and they have them placed at the river's bank in preparation for an approach. These creatures are speaking with Donovan, and the one with the long, tendrilless limbs says, "If I have forgotten, watch the beachhead. Stay with the Dark Watcher. We have informed the Elder One that there are intruders, but the Elder One wants them alive. It has finished another blessing and wishes to bestow it upon one of the intruders."
Bruce licks his lips.
All right. Well,
That was the creepiest thing I've
Wilhelm-
ever heard. I haven't even seen it.
Wilhelm is
My
very
mind is way
unsettled.
worse. Yeah.
I continue observing, like, do they look like they're just going to stand around there? Like, or does it seem like they're about to break way to like go their separate ways or anything?
Looks like Donovan and the humans are going to turn to leave. But as they do so, one of them turns, one of the other ones says, Heinz! You will turn soon. You should stay. And Hans, whose skin is turning slightly purple as well, walks back towards the others as Donovan and the others are turning to leave. With them go the torch as well.
And they go north?
Yeah.
Okay. And the abominations are still hanging out there, and then the three along the water.
Yeah.
And they look like they're there to observe the water and wait for us.
They have javelins placed along the water's edge, and they're holding crossbows.
Okay, with this, I'm going to sneak back to the boat.
Make a stealth check.
Yep. Oh. Okay, that's going to be a 30. I rolled a 20 and I have my expertise, so that's plus 10.
Ooh.
So I like ghost out of there. I like stand there. I'm in the water like this, observing and listening to everything that happens. I wait till the torch is gone, and as the light fades on my face, I just disappear like a ghost. And I come back and I come out of the water. Well, friends, we have some, I don't want to say people. People's the wrong word to use here. We have some things that are expecting us down the way. They are observing the water. There isn't much way for us to go here. If we try to go past, they will see us.
Even underwater? How murky is the water?
Relatively murky, but Wilhelm, two of those creatures had no eyes, yet they saw.
Two of those creatures had no eyes, but they definitely were looking for me. There was some mashed children and tendril people. It was unpleasant to look upon. It sounds like they are expecting us, and that there is whoever is in charge here is looking to bestow upon us a blessing, which sounds pleasant words wise, but I assume it will be an unpleasant situation to find ourselves in. We either need to attack. I did wait. Several of them left. There are, from what I could tell, 3 watching the water.
You said that they saw with no eyes?
They saw with no eyes. I can see fine with one most of the time, but they saw with none. It's concerning, and I
Maybe
feel
they can teach you how they do it.
whatever it is that they're selling, I'm not buying.
Well, we have 2 choices here. We either go in, guns blazing, or we figure out a way around them to distract them. I mean, how intelligent are they? Or are they just followers? They're sheep.
I saw very few options for going around that didn't involve, like you said, possibly going underwater. But given the situation we've ran into before with Wrath disguising himself and being discovered anyway, it gives me the impression that there is sight beyond sight within the people of this cavern.
So then
I
our
have
other option. Go ahead, Wrath.
what if we went under the water past them? If we invert the boat, we could create a sort of underwater air system.
They will notice the boat.
I'm thinking they're going to see through the water. They're going to sense our presence.
How deep is it?
It ranges from 5 to 10 feet deep. So if you capsize the boat, you would have a pocket of air underneath that you could hold on to and swim, which would provide you with quite good cover as you move forward. But the boat would not be something that you could hide, but you could hide yourselves under it.
Question. For the spell of invisibility, it says anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible. Would that translate to a boat?
No, because the boat's a vehicle. You are in the boat.
Okay.
Good try. Good
try. But the boat's a vehicle.
Portage doesn't count.
Yeah, we're like this invisible boat.
All right, let's
see through anyways.
They see us. We're just like.
Let's go with this, Wrath. You know what? The boat would create a diversion. No matter what, I feel like they're going to know we're coming. But the boat gives us cover, and the boat gives us a possible confusion. If it's upside down, they might think that we got lost in the rapids. They might suspect, they're going to suspect something. We will not surprise them, but we can at least leap out of the water and
maybe this is where maybe Rudy and I are traveling under the boat, and Wilhelm, you can get the element of surprise from above.
You know what? I even think having the boat float forward, have them see in the boat, focus on the boat. We need to take them out as soon as possible, and that's my thing. We need to go in on this with the grab and stab.
The grab and stab. It failed last time, but we can do it.
We didn't even use it last time. I think this is our chance. Distract them with the boat, or distract them like, Wrath, can you throw your lad on the other side of them? Not blind them, but cause them to look away from the water for a moment so we can grab some of them and get them in the water and have a moment with them. Because if any of them get away, there is more company that we're going to have to find. I say we need to get them and get them quick.
Wrath, distraction. Wilhelm, sneak up. Rudy, sneak up. Grab and stab.
I even think if I get the closest one, you get the ones furthest away because you can sneak a bit further, and we just get them out of there as quick as possible.
And we use the boat? Like you want to...
I would even send the boat first, empty, so they can see it empty. Like we said.
Or one of us under the boat. Either way. Whatever you guys think. Let's do it.
What do you decide? It's time to act.
Turn the boat over. Wrath under the boat. Me and Wilhelm will come and do grab and stab.
I'm going to sneak back to the same position.
I capsize the boat and I slowly go under the water.
Okay.
Oh, actually, before this happens, I'm going to take my potion of heroism.
Okay.
Oh, so am I.
Both going to drink your potions of heroism.
Yeah.
Okay. Do those effects last 1 hour or 1 minute?
1 hour, 10 temporary hit points, and for the same duration, the bless spell.
Okay, for 1 hour. Good stuff. Okay, so Rudy, you're gonna swim up to here. Wrath, you're gonna go forward with the capsized boat.
I'm underwater.
Cool. The boat moves forward.
I'm also going to drink a potion of healing just
okay.
because I need that.
Okay.
And that's a D4 for bless, right?
Yes.
Okay. With the boat leading forward as Rudy swims into position, the creatures growl, slobber, slather, and you hear these. They're coming! They say with a dual voice, like you hear two voices speaking slightly out of sync. Just like when Kelly and I try to say, we're the dungeon dudes online. It's like these two voices going, they're coming. And immediately a hail of crossbow bolts fire towards the capsized boat with a thunk, 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 thunk. And the creatures hiss. Roll for initiative.
Oh. 22.
I got
11.
20. Oh, cool.
Say what I wanted to say.
Okay, so Wilhelm, what do you got?
20.
20. Rudy?
22.
Whew. Wrath?
And 11.
11? Okay.
Used my crit for the night on initiative.
You
Worth it.
always have more than one crit. You're crit for the night. You're the crit queen, okay?
Hey, does just a question? Does Potion of Heroism count for initiative rolls as well? Is it an ability checks as well as attack rolls and saving throws?
I don't think so.
Don't think so. But I don't think it's... The numbers aren't enough to change the order. With the results. Rudy, you are first to act.
Right. And I come...
Yeah. In this case, because they were in a prepared position, there's no surprise for them, but they also... All those crossbow bolts that would have been shooting you shot your boat.
Good old boat. We're going to call him Tugger.
I hear them say, they're coming! And I'm like, oh no, boys, we're already here. And I go up to this guy right at the edge, and I start with my axes on them.
Okay. As you swim through, give me an athletics check to just see how quickly you can navigate through the waters and along the rocks.
22.
Okay. You can definitely get around there, and I'm going to say you kind of use the flow of the water to pull you, like, you kind of kick off from the cavern wall, swoop around, and so you're not entirely hampered by that, and you're able to pull yourself up onto the shore.
And then Houdini comes flying in after me, and I go at them with my axes, and I get bless on this, right?
Yeah.
Oh. 24 to hit.
That's a hit.
10 damage.
Nice.
Second hit. Ooh. 14 to hit. Oh wait, sorry. And I get blessed on every roll, right? +2, so 16 to hit.
It brings up a buckler, but your axe bashes and shatters the shield, slicing off one of its arms and impacting directly into the two mouths of the thing. And it sputters, and it seems like maybe one half of it has died, but the other half hasn't. And so but the half that died is the half that's controlling the limbs. So one of the faces is kind of squabbling and gibbering as the rest of it's bleeding out dead on the ground.
For 12 damage.
Yeah, it's slain, but one of the faces is still talking.
Oh. And then
Ugh.
do I have enough movement to move to this guy?
Yeah, sure.
For swimming? Okay. I don't know how. I guess that's close. And then I take my third hit for 18 plus 2, so 20.
A hit.
7 damage.
Nice. That leaves it bloodied. Wilhelm, it is your turn.
Can I? So here's what I'm imagining. Wilhelm dives under the water and follows the current to get right up here in the water.
Cool. Give me an acrobatics check.
21.
You deftly sail along the current and spring forth like a graceful dolphin.
So, like a graceful dolphin, Wilhelm goes under the water. He sails, he opens his eyes under the water just enough to make out where the creature is. And he bursts from the water and yells, "Wilhelm, surprise!" And apparently that's what I yell now. And he just emerges, rapier in hand, and stabs it right through the two heads of the creature, getting a 27 to hit.
You skewer it right through the. What's the minimum damage you can deal?
Oh, goodness.
Sneak attack too, right?
Yeah, so technically the minimum would be 8.
Yeah, it's defo dead.
Okay, cool. So I pop out of the water. Wilhelm, surprise! And I stab through both of its heads. And flipping over to the other side
of its heads are dead.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
You kill both of them, guys. And then I pull out my crossbow, and I'm actually going to fire at this guy over here. And I yell out, "Hello, ugly. I think you were expecting us." And I get, oh, where's my D4? 22 to hit for 7 damage.
Nice. Next up, the last remaining conjoined one. Picking up its, lowering its 2 crossbows, it fires a pair of shots directly at you, Wilhelm, getting a 20 and a 23 to hit with the crossbows.
Oh, my bad eye was not looking at them. They both hit.
You take 6 damage from the first shot and 7 from the second. And then, with its last free hand, it picks up a javelin and whips it at you.
All right.
Getting a 15 to hit.
That is my AC.
For another 3 points of damage.
Is it one of the baby arms that grabs the javelin?
My heroism holds out, and I'm actually not too bad. They pierce me, but I shrug it off.
Cool. Don't forget to update your tokens and whatnot. But yes, your heroism does protect you.
Yes.
Then the harrowing creatures, the tendrils elongate out of their shoulder blades, and they growl. You can see their hands have formed awful claws, and it races forward. The two of them both towards you. One towards Wilhelm and one towards Rudy. The first one lashes out with its tentacle at Wilhelm, getting a natural 1. So it lashes again with its second tentacle, getting a 16 to hit.
That hits.
That is going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage, and it pulls you close to you, and it punches you in the face and grasps at you with its claws. Getting a 16 to hit.
Yep.
And another natural 1. So that's going to be another 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
I will half that one because I haven't halved any of these yet.
Okay.
Using my uncanny dodge, I kind of shield myself from his claws.
The other races towards Rudy, and lashes out with its tentacles, getting a 24 and a 6 to hit.
24 hits.
That's going to be a total of 10 points of bludgeoning damage, and then it rakes at you with its claws, getting a pair of 8s to hit.
Nope. But that takes just my temporary hit points, and I'm still feeling good.
They, great. And that is their turns. Man, these things have a lot of attacks. I love them.
Jeez, it's the baby arms.
The conjoined ones and the changed ones. The changed ones are full adults. They have, and Wrath, you are next up.
Hearing the keyword Wilhelm surprise, it's Wrath's time to shine, and I flip the boat over and I emerge in the water, and I go, ta-da! So that's my new thing. And I shoot. I send Bruce right up to this other one, and I'm going to shoot Eldritch Blast at it. Getting a 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
For 13 damage.
You blast it apart in a single blow.
Ooh. So I just kind of
sending limbs and weapons splaying out and dripping into the water.
And that now Bruce is distracted by a baby arm. He gets it in his mouth and he's gnawing on it. He's been eyeing one of those since day one, and I take another shot at the one beside Rudy, getting a 24 to hit again for 8 damage.
Nice. Both of them are wounded. Anything else, Wrath?
I start to make my way out of the water.
Okay.
Trudging through the...
Rudy, it is your turn. Actually, end of the round. Each of you roll me a d6.
2.
5.
Okay. Rudy, it is your turn.
All right. Houdini comes around, and we're going to take some more shots. Well, some battle axes to their faces. Where I got my bless? 16 plus 8 to hit. So that's 13 damage.
Nice.
Second
It
hit.
howls with a maddened fury at the blow. The next attack?
15 plus 8 is 23.
Also a hit.
Oh. Plus another one for bless. And that's 11 damage.
That is sufficient to cut it down. What do you do?
I start by chopping off the tentacles, and then I just go straight for the jugular. And then I turn to the one.
It collapses to the ground, still, and it chokes out. The elder one.
And I step over it, and I try to hit its brother. For 16, 18 to hit.
Also a hit.
Oh, I love bless. It's so good. Oh, well, 6 damage.
Okay. Wilhelm, can you bring this on in?
I take out my rapiers are still out, and this one who's been clawing and smacking me around with tentacles, I start dodging out of the way, and I just drive the rapier through its open mouth, hopefully. What's my D4 there? 28 to hit. We're going to sneak attack him. All right, that's 19 damage.
With a vicious slash, you puncture through the upper part of its chest near its collarbone, and a gout of black blood sprays out. It pulls itself up along the blade. It's still standing.
As it pulls itself up along the blade and comes right to my face, I'm going to take out the crossbow and fire it point blank, hopefully. Maybe. I got a 17 to hit.
It's a hit.
Okay, good. Ooh, good. Doing 10 damage.
At point blank range, the crossbow goes right into its forehead, splattering out the strange gray matter of its brains all across the cavern floor.
Well, that was horrible.
Get on in this boat and
Is the
Keep
one
going down, I say.
Is the one still talking? Is the one's mouth still gibbering?
Gibbering and babbling and saying obscenities laced with absurdities.
Do you think we take the boat or should we head? Donovan went north, and I feel like that's just going to lead back the way we came. I feel like our journey takes us south.
I agree.
There's at the back of the cavern over here, there's a small opening. And you can actually see there's a bit of perhaps some more water that way.
I send Houdini down that path.
Sure. Houdini flutters down over that way. And gotta be on the right layer. Gotta be on reveal areas, not conceal areas. Thanks, Roll20. Okay, so here's what you see. The cavern here opens into a small bit of pooled water, perhaps 18 inches high. For here, the walls of some chamber have collapsed, and this flooded room of similar construction to the elven ruins that you passed through earlier opens up, flooded about as high as the calf. There are several pillars bearing up the rest of this room, and from what you can see, there are at least 3 exits to this room itself. There is no light in this chamber, and a sort of musky scent hangs in the air.
Well, this is... I fly him back and say, it's a chamber that leads off to a few paths. Seems similar to the fountain we used to see before.
I suspect that one of those paths is going to lead to this Elder One. And it seems like that's where we are headed to find. And were we supposed to bring the Elder One back alive? Was that part of...
Not that I know of. I think we're just supposed to stop these folk.
We have been tasked to figure out the issues in Schaffberg. We were supposed to meet our contact. Things went quite sideways when we discovered what was actually happening. This has taken us across the marshlands into a sunken temple that is between worlds.
Yes.
And we have discovered that there is one called the Elder One who seems to be converting these many, many people.
I put my hand on Wrath's shoulder and I go, yes, Wrath, I have been here the whole time as well.
I do not know if River knows about this Elder One.
Fair enough. Then it will meet our blades, or whatever it is you use.
Go towards the path and say, boys, we better get off here just in case they come down that other way.
I concur.
Let's go on down this path.
Do we have any light? It's hard. It's hard for me. Again.
I pass you a torch lit by prestidigitation.
All right. I have a lit torch.
But let's keep it low. Let's keep it low.
After we're done down here, I would like to stay above ground for a while. I don't like it down here.
Do either of you think that the water has any significance to what we're dealing with? Everything seems to be cast from the water. I want to just take a look at the water. Does the water seem unusual in this area? And it's coming up to our calf.
It's quite clean, clear, almost crystal clear. In fact, you can. The stone is a light blue material. It's and the water, in fact, sparkles as the torchlight shines on it.
I drink a potion of healing.
Who is bearing a light source?
I am.
Okay. I'm just going to mark you with a yellow dot to indicate that. And are you using the light spell on your forehead, or are you carrying a torch?
What would you rather?
I think I just have a torch.
Well, you can put it out if we need to.
Yep.
See here that leaning off of this chamber are 3 exits. All of them appear to be solid stone doors, engraved with the faces of mournful elves.
Any writing on them?
They're approaching. There are. Do any of you understand Elven? It was just Wilhelm, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I go up trying to read it, and I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I come up next to you. I
I like the
trudge
pictures.
into the water. I will take a crack at this. This is ancient Elven, but let me see what I can surmise.
The inscription reads in Elven, in very long and exhaustive detail. It says, "Beyond here lies Altharius," and it begins describing the details of Altharius's life. Seems he was an Elven warrior that speaks of the worlds that he came from before dying here. The elves have their own manner of recounting the years, which makes it difficult to determine exactly how long ago this was. But, pardon me. Yeah, it seems that it is a grave marking.
Altharius. That name doesn't mean much to me, but this appears to be a burial site for an Elven warrior.
This ain't what we're looking for. We're looking for a path to this great one, or whatever this name is.
What if the Elder One is Altharius and he is just changed by the rock?
Well,
The
what
delirium.
about these other 2?
I'm gonna go check out the one to the east.
This one says in Elven, "Here is buried
No idea.
Anur. His sword was twilight."
I feel like both of you guys go up to these statues and I come up behind you and read it to you. And then I come up behind you, Wrath, and read it to you.
And it's like the light comes up, and then it's like, oh yeah, I couldn't see it before.
I just
the light.
dark vision makes me can't read.
Yeah, it's
Elvish.
You can't get a lot of the reflection of the tone. And
You seem embarrassed about your inability to read Elven. It's a difficult language to learn for most people.
I comprehend languages from beyond the stars.
If I wanted to read it, I could read it. I just decided I did not want to learn Elvish.
There are just some words that I do not understand.
Okay.
It's a different dialect. I learned a different one. Whispers.
What does the third door say?
Rudy, I've shone the light on it. Why don't you read it for us? I'll wait. I'll wait.
I told you.
This door actually does not have an inscription upon it. It simply has the markings of many elven representations of spirits in the afterlife upon it. Perhaps it might lead to further chambers that aren't themselves tombs.
I walk up with my back turned to it. I'm like, go ahead, Rudy. And then I turn around. I'm like, oh, never mind.
There's just some symbols on there, other thing. No one's name. No one's name that I could read.
Is this a door?
They're all doors.
Yeah. They're all doors.
Shall we go beyond the nameless door?
but they are solid stone slabs.
There's clearly, yes. Is this the door that we choose? And I push on the stone slab.
The one in front of you?
Yeah.
As you push upon it, the stone slab with a gravelly rake lowers down into the water, and there's a sucking sound as the water flows into where it was below.
I won't lie, I didn't think it was going to be that easy. I shine my torch. Yes.
On the door.
I hold my torchlight and peer into the passage.
The passage beyond, so revealed, is again flooded to roughly the calf. It is a large chamber, and you can see beyond here there is the small impression of another door over here. Much of this chamber has collapsed. There's rubble strewn all about, and it looks like at one time along the northern wall here there might have been a very impressive mural, perhaps a wall of the dead or of inscriptions of some kind, but the collapse has completely destroyed it, and aside from the facades and elegant faces of a few elves and a hand kind of positioned out in the midst of the ruins, whatever it once was or once symbolized is lost to time.
Oh, Rudy, just going for it. Do I hear, like, before we enter the room, I ask, like, or I not ask, but do I hear anything? I stop and I listen to see if there's any sounds of movement or anything.
No, and as Rudy trudges through the water, splash, 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 the corridor beyond ends in an as you pass through here, Rudy. It looks like there was once perhaps a door over here, but it is... I'm just gonna adjust our view for our friends. It looks like at one point this might have continued, this hallway, but the collapse has brought it inward, and in the room opposite you there was what looks like the remains of one of these doors. It's halfway down and the water is flowing over top of it, and then within you can see the remnants of a smashed elven tomb.
Dead end. Nothing but, dead elf stuff. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
This was once a sacred place for elven burials, but it is beyond desecrated now.
Well, you know Elven. What do you know of their history, this place?
I am proficient in history. Can I surmise anything about elven history?
The only kind of thing that you can glean off the cuff is that the elves are not of this world. They are a people that came through to our world from another place. They speak of long journeys through realms of twilight forests, of lands of shadows and dreams. And their myths and legends speak of being pursued by an enemy across both time and space. How long ago they came here is uncertain. For the elves are quite rare. The only thing, what is not entirely rare, is that they did settle here, and they started families with many humans, and so to this day there are many that have elven ancestry within their blood, yet most folk who are of elven ancestry don't even know much beyond that. The elves that have kept their myths and their traditions tend to be a very secluded bunch, but typically ruins like this tend to date to times, those old times when the elves first arrived. For the elves have no cities, they have no nations as a people. They are otherwise now, aside from the handfuls of elves that have small communities within cities and other places, they have no nation or people of their own.
I say that to you too. But with a Wilhelm voice.
Imagine that again. Looking in the original room with the first 3 doors, does it look like any of them are used, like either a clear path through the water from like rubble or handprints on the door?
Sure. Give me a investigation check.
I need you, Wilhelm.
Do you call me out and ask me to help you look?
Wilhelm, please come.
Yes.
I need your help. I looked around on the ground and I've surmised that this is a ancient elven temple. Now, the elves came from a different world, far beyond. And I try to recount some of what you told us earlier to look smart. I got a 3 on my investigation. I have no idea what I'm looking for.
Can he ask me to try to figure it out?
Sure.
What I'm wondering is maybe we can figure out which way they might go frequently. This elder one must live in one of these doors.
I'm still under my heroism.
Yep.
Right? Does that affect skill checks? Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Can I also cast guidance?
Yeah.
Does that give me advantage?
No, plus
no.
D4.
Yeah, it would be another D4. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Stack them.
Right.
So working together.
Working together. Well, that's good because I rolled a 2 plus.
I picked up a rock and I was like, this looks important, and I distracted you.
I still get a 15.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Wilhelm, here's what you can determine. The water is flowing into this room from over here. So the source of the water is likely, judging, there's bits of sand and dirt that have settled in certain places, and the water is likely flowing out from here. At least in that general direction. What you can ascertain, however, is that there is common pathways that I will just draw them with my ruler here. There are common pathways that seem to come along this way, like so, and another common pathway that goes like this and like this. So there are people that are traveling from here, and you can tell this because the water, like the dirt and mud, has settled underneath the crystal clear water in lumps, but that the footsteps would drag across and disturb the dirt under the water in those areas. Basically nothing has walked this way.
So going through that tomb.
My assumption is that this door down here is the way most traveled.
Traveled in or traveled out?
With the flow of the water and the fact that we came from the north and are heading south, either behind that other door there's a passage that we don't know about that we could check out, or we take this passage and continue south. We could try opening that door to see what's on the other side. The one up here.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's...
Yes, I will stay in the room and keep eyes out. Bruce is watching over us as well.
I push on this door.
Literally and figuratively.
Yep.
Okay. As you push the doorway open, as you come up to it and place your hands on it, the doorway recedes downward. and pulls itself down. And you can see within. Just give me one moment here. Okay. Got it. Got what I need. Nice. Okay. Okay. There's another partially flooded room here. But further up, there is a set of stairs leading upward. And at the end, as you come into this room, you can hear a muffled speaking, muffled moaning, just a and you hear of someone that might be gagged going, no, no, and you hear the rustling of chains and manacles. For as you come into this room, you can see that up the stairs, in a small landing of a room whose purpose is lost to time, are bound up and tied 4 people. They have sackcloths over their heads and are bound in manacles as well.
I call back to the other 2 and I say, there are people alive in here. And I rush up and I start removing the bags on their heads.
I remove the bags, but I don't remove the manacles yet.
Okay. You pull off the manacles. There are 4 people here. There are 2. There is a bearded and gruff dwarven man with a long, bulbous nose and furrowed eyebrows and a great braided beard. There is a rather thin and lithe, tall human man with kind of a dusky skin, and beside him is another woman with auburn hair, and finally a black half elven woman, and with her hair in dreadlocks, and all of them have been stripped down to their skivvies. They they pull the bags off their heads, and all of them have actually had ropes tied through their mouths and are bound, and are additionally blindfolded under the bags. In the corner of the room is a few bowls of gruel and several piles of feces.
I remove the ropes around their mouths and the blindfolds. I don't unbind them yet. I just remove that, and I look at all of them and I say, "What? How long have you been down here? Are you okay?"
Say quietly though. Don't know who may be listening.
The woman speaks up. She says, "We've been down here for." She says, "You're not one of them."
Are you?
No. She speaks. She kind of grabs the crosses her arms and she says, Are they dead?"
Some of them.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
She says, "My name is Verona von Baden of Dransmund. If you get me out of here, whatever you want, land, titles, my brother will see to it. You will have it. You will be a rich man. Get me out of here now."
I need you to calm down. We're not after land or riches. We are trying to put a stop to the evils that are happening here. What do you know? What have you seen? Where have they taken you? What have they done to you?
I need some clothes and a hot meal. I have been down here with Goddard and my others for weeks. I will tell you this, if you get me out of here now, you will never want for anything in your life again.
We're in a situation right now where going back the way we came is unlikely. There are still a lot of people down here that want to do very evil things to us. I need you to tell me what you know, and then we can get you all out of here, and us as well.
I know very little. Myself and my traveling companions were coming from Dransmund down to Leukton to the Free City and to trade. We stayed in an inn in Schaffberg.
Yes.
And then we woke up down here.
But they haven't performed any rituals or blessings on you, have they?
I was traveling in a caravan of 20 of my house guards. When we woke up, there were perhaps half our number. And in the weeks since, they have been taking us one by one.
Rudy,
I have a question. Have you or any of these three been taken and returned?
She turns and she says, "They have taken us. They have..." It was like it tried to reach inside our minds, but we could not see it.
And did it reach inside your minds?
Don't know. They have said very little to us. I don't know why they took us. I don't know what they want from us. I don't know if they're holding me for ransom or anything. But I assure you that when we return to Dransmund, my brother will give you a grand reward.
I think what you need to worry about right now is surviving to get out of this cave, not what happens after. And we need to be able to do our jobs in order to get you out of here safe. So, where did they take you?
I don't know. We have been blindfolded and gagged for weeks, save for when they feed us what scraps of disgusting food they have here.
Rudy, we have to save these people.
It's important to understand if they have been, for lack of a better word, infected.
I realize that.
Can you get inside their minds?
I'm gonna kind of scan the four of them and kind of look into their eyes, and I want to slowly kind of like pace back and forth and ask each and every one, have you been taken away and returned to this place? Have you seen the one they call the Elder One?
The dwarf speaks up. They took us further down, and it felt like something was trying to reach into our minds. Like it was trying to... My great-uncle used to build marionettes. And it was like they were trying to sew strings into us, like a marionette. And it wouldn't take, I think. And so they left us here. I don't know why.
It does not make sense why they would let you live if they could not infect you.
Maybe they were going to try again, but I'm worried
These
about.
people are innocent.
They are innocent for now.
Innocent or not, Wilhelm, an infection brought back into civilization will infect.
These people haven't been infected yet. They're prisoners. We need to save them.
Wilhelm, tell me that they're not infected. Show me that they're not infected.
The way that the
Show me
infected
that they
people
won't be.
acted is different than the way that these people are acting. The infected people were vicious. They were prone to violence.
You're right, but are we going to take them into this battle with that one? Or are we going to try to keep them here safe?
How do we know they're safe here?
Where are we going to send them off in a cave and potentially get taken by that big, scary thing?
Fine,
That's the way out. But we can't have them following us. And if we need to get in somewhere, this loudmouth one, and I point over to the woman that was promising all the things.
Excuse me.
I mean, do you want the gag back in? I need you to be a little bit more silent, ma'am. Now, if we take them with us, they're going to be more danger than if we leave them here and come back for him when we've done this thing.
Fine, but we have to come back for them.
Of course. I would not leave innocent people here, but we have to make sure that we take care of the source of what's happening.
What did you see?
The dwarf man speaks again. Nothing. You're the first people we've seen with our eyes since we bedded down on that accursed inn. The coffee was terrible.
Yes, it was.
It's true.
So you've been to Schaffberg.
We came from Schaffberg. You four need to understand we have traveled a long way to try to put a stop to what is happening in Schaffberg. We have fought our way here. We have fought our way in. We still have to deal with whoever is in charge here before we go gallivanting about with the lot of you who are unarmed and weakened and unfed. You are not fit to fight, and it is my duty to protect you. Me and my companions here must venture forward. Unfortunately, you are safest left here. They cannot bring you to the Elder One if we are headed in that same direction.
Tell us where they took you. You must remember the direction, how many steps, how many doors, who among you knows this.
Each of you can roll me a d6.
Yeah.
3.
6.
5.
The auburn hair woman speaks up. She says, "Milady, I think they took us through water, through maybe from here to past maybe into, they took us through a door. That door," she points, "then through one more, and then there was another door that I think they said some elf word. They said some elf word, and then a door open. And then I heard a door open. They took up these stairs. It was. I think it was.
Can you try?
Were you conscious?
Yes.
What did it sound like? Can you make something similar? I might be able to surmise what word it was.
It. She tries to make this sound that she's butchering it completely, but it might be an elven word that either means passage or passing.
Okay. Rudy, I say we cut them free. They stay here, and I give one of them a dagger to protect themselves in case somebody comes for them. Because if they're tied up and bound here, and one of those others comes here, they could easily just slit their throats or kill them.
Easily, or they could be putting themselves in more danger by trying to fight in this condition.
No, I mean, if somebody comes and decides that this is too much of a risk, they could just off them.
I suggest we hide them.
What about in that dead end
We
around
can
the
use
corner?
the tiny hut.
Okay.
You four, if you stay hidden, we will give you what rations we can. Use them sparingly in case we do not return.
Give you fire.
You may need to make it out of here on your own. But we
How
will
long?
come back for you.
How long does tiny hut last?
8 hours.
If the
How
tiny
long?
hut disappears, get yourselves out of here.
Very well, you're a mage. She says, are you a mage of the academy? Says
I
the
do
half
work for the academy.
Well, fascinating. Excellent. Very good then. Do it.
I have some... trying to think what we could give them.
I have rations, and I can make a fire for them.
Yeah.
So let's...
In the time that it takes for Wrath to set up the tiny hut, you can give them some rations, some spare weapons. There were the weapons as well that the creatures that you slew earlier had as well, the crossbows and the ammunition and the javelins.
Yeah.
So you can run back and grab those and set them up here just fine.
Okay. We do all of that, and then I say that we head to that door and try to open it.
Let's do it. But again,
So,
and I point to the crew and say, 8 hours. There's a boat just out there. You take it, you follow the waterway up, see if you can get out alive. But
be careful.
we'll be back before then if we survive this thing.
If you are taking the boat up, if you come to a large pool, get out of the water as quickly as you can. And don't listen to the voices. All right, have a good one.
Enjoy.
I want to use my Pearl of Power as well.
Okay.
So if you guys want to come with me to this door, I'm going to try to open it.
Oops.
So I'm gonna go put my hands up against the door, and I'm gonna try to say the Elven word for passage.
Okay. Well, first of all, as you place your hands against the door, before you even say the words, they open.
Oh. That was...
Well, you did it.
I am that skilled.
There's another room here. The room is empty. Another door over here that leads further along.
Try it one more time. One more door.
I walk up to this, and before I say anything, I put my hands on the door.
Once again, as you place your hands on the door, it immediately slides open.
My friends, I get the sense that they're letting us come this way.
We may not have chosen the correct path.
Sorry, in the upper room, up here, was there a door?
There was, but it was half opened and ruined.
Okay.
The room ahead here is quite interesting. For this is where the complex is broken through and water is spilling in from the river, slowly flooding the rest of the complex. There is another exit to this area right down over here. and it looks like a bit of a ruined area leading up to a cavernous landing up in this direction over here, up to the north, and then the water flowing in, perhaps even connected back to the main river from the south, slowly trickling in, flooding the rest of the chamber to the height of the knee. As the water drips and fills into the room with a soft flow, there's one other door leading off this chamber.
Wilhelm, over here.
Before they go through that one, I want to take a quick look in these other chambers for any secret doors.
Okay, where would you like to look?
I want to look in first in the current chamber that the first one we walked into that we thought was that had the secret passage door.
This room over here?
The one below it, south of it. Yeah.
The one that you're in?
The room that you're currently in? Or
Yeah.
the room where Wilhelm first tried to say the word passage, which was this room over here?
I'm trying to think if I recount. She said they left the room, they walked through 2 doors, and then it was on the second one. So technically it should be in here somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to look around this room for secret doors. Secret doors.
Sure.
Like other water flowing either in or out. Now that Wilhelm's given me the key to looking for walking ways.
Most of the walls along here, the north wall, are collapsed, right? There's collapse all through here. So this is the only the southern wall is the only solid wall in the entire chamber. And as you look, you can see that in the elven carvings over here, there is a large mural similar to the ones on the doors before. And there's this very small seam on the edges of the room, of the stone.
I send Bruce to go tug on Wilhelm's pants in the classic come follow me.
I come back. Yeah.
And I just quietly glance towards the...
I put my hand on Rath's shoulder again and I go, rule number 36, give credit where credit is due. Good eyes, Rath. Good eyes. And I push my hands up against this one and I say the Elven word for passage.
The wall slides downward, revealing a short staircase that comes out of the waters. Beyond is a large, oblong room. It is filled with all manner of strange tubes, and a large stone stage forms a slab in the center of the room. There, laying upon the stone slab, chained up as if for sacrifices, are 3 other individuals laying out. Surrounding them, and from above, these thin tendrils made of flesh are drawn up from a large suckling sac suspended in the roof above, around which it goes down to a pedestal, around which have been piled up through the flesh several glowing crystals of delirium. Suckling off like an umbilical cord from the pieces of delirium, this ichor goes up through the fleshy tendrils into the sac and then pours down into the ears, mouth, eyes, and nose of the 3 laying out prisoners. As tending over, floating in the air, is an emaciated figure covered in strange fabrics strewn over its body. The fabrics that sparkle with the brightness of stars and the darkness of space. Drawn up, the fabrics form a collar around the neck of the creature that regards you, for it has the head of an octopus and a mouth of feelers dangling down before it like a beard. And that is where we're going to end the night.
wow.
That's all the sounds I can make at this point.
Jeez.
I
These
think we
things have been
found,
so. Is this the older one? Is this the?
Oh man!
I
All
back
right.
out of the room slowly. Close the door. Close the door.
What's this elven word for run? What's the elven word for close? Close.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Well, that is where we will wrap things up for this evening. A huge thank you, as always, to our wonderful players, Kelly, Jill, and Joe, for bearing with that absolute horror show.
And a huge thank you. Is Kyle with us tonight?
He is indeed.
Thank you to Kyle, even if he wasn't here. A huge thank you to Kyle for participating in the chat, all the work he's been doing with the podcasts and everything else. And a huge thank you to our Dungeon Master, Monty Martin, for running this creepy, horrible dungeon crawl that we've been on for what seems like forever. And I can't wait to get out, back into some sunlight. Wilhelm is sad. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Monty. And again, we want to give a big shout out to everyone that's provided some incredible assets that we use in the game. Tonight, we have so many talented artists that have graciously given us permission to use these assets, but you can use them at your table too. So we encourage you to check out some amazing creators. Roll20 with the virtual tabletop, battle maps by Alex Vendara of Neutral Party and Ross McConnell of 2 Minute Tabletop. Custom maps created using Dungeon Fog and Wonder Draft. Player character artwork by Jeremy Cole. We have NPC token artwork by Matthias Bourbon. Monster token artwork from the D&D 5e Monster Manual and other source books. Spell effects by Gabriel Picard and music by Tabletop Audio. So thank you to everyone.
Of course, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store, where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes t-shirts, including Yes, 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 Troll Killer, some Dungeons and Drakkenheim, of course, the new ones for Shadows, including Way Bigger Than Ducks and
Way Bigger Than Ducks.
The Dusk Wardens. Check out bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
Our videos and live streams are made possible thanks to the incredible generosity of our Patreon supporters. A big thank you to all of you watching out there that are on our Patreon. Please, if you enjoy our work, please consider checking us out on Patreon, becoming a patron. You can find out all the details by following the links below or at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes.
And again, we have a phenomenal Discord community, which is exclusive for our patrons. So if you are joining our Patreon, make sure to join us on Discord, where you can chat with us about all the nerdy topics you want. You can talk to Monty about behind the scenes Drakkenheim stuff, or you can chat with me most of the time after each episode about how horrible everything went and how scared I am for the next game. So join us on there and talk with us about anything you want.
Kelly and I post new videos every Thursday on our YouTube channel as well, where we cover everything Dungeons & Dragons, including advice for players and guides for Dungeon Masters. We actually also are dropping episodes every other Tuesday as well now. This week, we just posted our tier list ranking the cleric subclasses, and on Thursday, we got our video on our top high-level cleric spells. So it is Cleric Week this week. So if you're rolling up if the gods are with you, check out our videos this week.
Find favor.
And be sure to join us live next Tuesday when we record the campaign live on Twitch. Check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. And you can watch all the previous episodes of our show on YouTube as well.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time in the shadows of Drakkenheim.